Hey y'all, Josh here with Gold City. I got my buddy Big D.
Hey guys.
Dillan West here with me. We're doing a little video for you today on the setup process of the sound and everything that we have to do. A little more complicated than when your dad and me were doing it back in the day. And
well, there's a couple more buttons you got to push and a couple more cords you got to plug in, but it's still pretty easy. I mean, it's simple. It's lightweight.
It's really not. No, he's lying. It's really not. Back then, the most elaborate thing you had to do was getting the pink noise analyzer right on the graphic EQ that you moved.
Yeah. What he's saying is Josh is a lead singer, so he's just a little dramatic. It's not that big of a deal.
Not nearly dramatic as those tenors. Hey, the number one thing that you have to keep in mind when you're setting sound for a quartet, this is very important. Every quartet needs to listen to what I'm saying, is that you get the keyboard piano player properly positioned. For some reason, they want to keep creeping over where the quartet stands. So, we're here. You got to make sure that they understand to get back there, out of the way somewhere. It's a hard... Terry, did you measure that off?
No.
Well, see what I'm talking about. So just make sure that you keep the piano player to the side.
All right, so the first thing we normally do when we get inside a venue is, as my job, I look at the room itself and see what all we might need. This room is a much larger room, so we need everything that we carry. So the first thing we're going to do is start with setting up our tops. If anybody out there is sound nerds like myself, we use Meyer Sound, and our tops are UPA 1Ps. They may look small, but they're a little bit heavier than what you would think. Josh is getting older. And that back is just not what it once was.
Yeah.
Look at him. He's
okay.
He's going to have to hit that massage.
These things are, what, about 80 pounds?
80 pounds.
Terry.
Yeah. Terry, we got the next one? Yeah, we're going to let you set that side up, all right?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So these are our floor wedges. So typically, like with us, we use floor wedges and in-ear monitors.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm relying heavily on the floor wedges. It really messes, my hearing really messes with my voice. So a lot of times, if you're struggling, a buddy of mine actually texted me yesterday, says he's great before he goes on stage, voice is working right, goes on stage, and it just goes haywire. He's wearing in-ears, so your ears tell your voice what it needs to do. So if you got one unplugged up with an artificial sound coming into it, a lot of times you just can't get that back. So if you're dealing with vocal issues and you're wearing in-ears, take them out, get you a good floor mix. Dillan does a great job of doing that for me. You'll get your voice back that way.
Yeah. Let me show you guys something. This is a little hack. If you want to know if a group travels a lot during the year, just look at their equipment. Let me show you something right here. Look at this. I don't know if you can see that right there, but that is... It's not supposed to look like that, all right? But when you do as many dates as Gold City does, your equipment just takes a little bit of a load. All part of the process. All right, so next is going to be our board setup, and this is always my station back here, and as you can see, we're in a different location every night. So I always have to change where my setup is based on whatever venue we're in, and today they have more theater style seating, so I'm going to sit behind all of it. I'm using our monitor board here, our monitor case to set my board on. And then I also use this, which is the top to our board case. I might set my iPad on there, just something for a little extra room. But as you see, my board don't have power right now, so I'm going to go grab an extension cord and see if we can't get it turned on.
What's the problem, Terry?
I don't know.
What's wrong? You said something was wrong.
The links were broke and let you.
Sometimes Terry has this habit of wanting to ask a question about a problem before searching for the solution. All right. Our interface was not on. You run your computer to the interface and then the interface to the board. I know that's technical, but that's how we get all of our channels to our console from the computer.
And then you have to fire them from the trigger pad.
Yes, you fire them from the trigger pad. But it's hard to do that when your interface is not on. And Terry was having a mini panic attack because the computer was not working.
But in
Simple
his
fix.
defense, though, we've had problems with that. So the computer actually updated.
Oh,
and it updated QLab a few days ago. So when we hooked everything up, there was nothing there at all. Singing in the sun.
And you want to know whose fault that was? Danny Riley.
And where is Danny, by the way?
You know where Danny is. He's on the bus, fanning himself. All right, so we're all set up. Now my job really kicks in. This is where I have to set the room and try and get the EQ right. And I always say, you know, being a sound man, it's kind of like being a kicker in football. Nobody notices you unless something's wrong. So I try my best to stay to where nobody talks to me, so that way I know I did something right. So let's EQ. All right, we got the room set. Now the guys are coming in. We're going to check their mics and get a sound check going.
So I think we got it all.
Got it all good to go.
Hey, one thing I do want to mention that's a huge help, and if you can get this whenever you're going into certain areas or different venues, is we had an incredible volunteer team. We're at Pinecrest here in McDonough, Georgia. Incredible, beautiful facility.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to the concert tonight. So you good, right?
We're good to go.
All right.
Well, if God be for us, who can